I presume you don't think Trump is a good president.
No.
Do you see him as a bad president who's wrong about a lot of things, or as an existential threat to democracy in this country?
I would go well beyond bad president. There are presidents who you disagree with and presidents you agree with. This is, I think, categorically different. We have not had a president, left, right, or center, who has tried to destroy companies, universities, and broadcasters who criticize his government. We have a president who really is attempting to become an autocrat, and in some ways has succeeded.
What's up, everybody? Major retired Richard Ojeda here, and Donald Trump isn't trying to be an autocrat. He already is one. And the only reason it's working, because too many people in boardrooms, newsrooms, classrooms, and Congress are too scared to say it out loud.
But I think there are moments where he has revealed how little respect he has for his own supporters. That's one of the reasons why I think the Epstein saga is especially relevant, because by telling them that this was important and that he would do something, and then by turning around and saying he won't do something and that they're stupid if they care about this, he's putting his thumb in their eye even more than usual.
Pete didn't just show up for the interview. He showed up to expose Trump's administration and tell the truth about what's really going on. He didn't just speak the truth. He diagnosed the damn disease. He told the entire world that Donald Trump has already bent institutions to his will. He told everyone that his cabinet, filled with conspiracy theorists, steak sauce scholars, and disaster deniers, is hurting real people in real time. And he did it with the kind of composure that deeply resonates with people. He did it with facts. He did it with the full weight of someone who's earned the public's respect.
We have to be a party that is not pulling punches, that is ready to call things out for what they are, internally and externally. I think people want to know that somebody's fighting for them. At the same time, my personal theory of politics is you don't have to be a dick about it. And what I mean by that is that when I encounter people in actual real life who voted the other way, relatives, or even somebody might come up and say hello in like an airport or something, I'm more likely to have somebody come up and say, you know, I'm from the other party, but it's nice running into you. Challenge for us is we should never back down from a good fight over what the right thing to do is and what the wrong thing to do is.
When someone like Pete Buttigieg stands up in the face of authoritarian rot, calm, clear, and unflinching, it hits people like a lightning bolt. It's something people appreciate deeply. And the fact that he didn't grandstand, didn't embellish, didn't blow things out of proportion, that speaks for itself. He didn't flinch in the face of this administration. Instead, he stood strong, like a man standing at the gates of hell saying, I won't back down. That vibe resonates with people because this wasn't dry political talk. It was a full-body rebuke of cowardice in government. That's why this blew up. That's why it went viral. On social media, one person called it simple yet brilliant, and another said the last 30 seconds should be mandatory listening because when Pete speaks, it's like someone finally pulled the damn fire alarm in a room full of smoke. Somebody actually stood up and did the competent, necessary thing.
I don't think they believe that they have to justify what they're doing to the American people, even to the people who voted for them. They just don't think that that's their problem. Why do you think they're so hostile to the media, right?
Are you talking about the fake news, lamestream media?
Well, yeah, right? I mean, there's very little interest in working through, you know, one person admitted a mistake, right? Where they like sent the wrong guy to El Salvador.
Yes.
And what did they do? They fired the guy who admitted it.
Bye-bye.
Let's be clear, this wasn't just another guy on a mic or a Zoom call doing the least amount of work with the most exposure. This was a man stepping into the void where leadership is supposed to be, and everyone saw it. They felt it. In a political wasteland full of cowards and opportunists, Pete Buttigieg didn't just talk. He stood his ground with confidence, integrity, and passion. He said all the right things. He told the truth, and that's why it matters. Pete wasn't yelling from a stage. He wasn't grandstanding at a rally. He was calm, measured, and deadly accurate. He sat down with Steve Inskeep on NPR's Morning Edition and just dropped truth bomb after truth bomb. That's what made it hit so hard. He wasn't trying to go viral. He was just being honest. And when someone tells the truth like that, it rattles the system. And what he said hit home. Donald Trump is not trying to be an autocrat. He's already one. The guy tried to take down anyone who criticizes him. Broadcasters, businesses, universities. He doesn't want a country. He wants a kingdom. He wants a nation of yes men who will kiss his ring and look the other way while he turns the United States into a revenge tour. Pete is spot on. Donald Trump isn't just a bad president. He is the most corrupt man to ever sit in the Oval Office. A criminal, a racist, a sexist, a predator. And instead of being held accountable for any of it, he's running for office again while his allies work overtime to destroy the very systems meant to hold people like him accountable. And let's be honest, if it were you and me, we'd already be under the jail. But this system isn't designed to hold the rich accountable. It's designed to crush the rest of us if we so much as lift our heads and ask questions. Pete called that out, and I'm here to double down on it. They want to turn our democracy into a dictatorship. And if you try to oppose them, if you try to call them out on their crimes, on their sins, on their lies, they'll come for you. That's how authoritarianism works. That's what Pete said, and he's right. We have an administration that's not just corrupt, it's dangerous. It's an administration trying to gut education, gut health care, gut freedom of speech, trying to kill every avenue Americans have to envision a better life. And the only thing standing in their way, the truth, and people willing to say it. Pete didn't just call it out. He nuked the whole damn idea that Trump is some kind of strong man. And he did it by pointing to the weakness of everyone who gets close to him. Cowards, bootlickers, the ones who think groveling is a personality trait. Pete laid it out. This isn't just about Trump being loud. It's about him building an entire echo chamber of fear. One where media, corporations, and even government institutions go silent just to stay off his radar. And when he sat down with NPR's Steve Inskeep, he didn't tiptoe around it. He said what everyone else was been too afraid to say. Let me tell you something. Pete Buttigieg is 100% right. If you think you can survive this wave by staying quiet, you're already drowning. These cowardly media outlets who think silence will save them, they'll be off the air just like everyone else the moment they stop being useful to Trump. If you're in the press right now and you're scared to speak the truth, you are already negotiating your own censorship. And let me ask you, is licking Trump's boots really where you want to be? Is bending the knee to a would-be dictator how you want to go out? Because those are the only two options you've got if you wait too long. You can either stand up now while we still have the ability to fight back, or you can be erased later when it's too late to matter. And I don't know about you, but bending the damn knee is not an option. And here's the thing. If it weren't for people like Rosie O'Donnell, Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart, the creators of South Park, and yes, Pete Buttigieg, we'd be drowning in silence right now. Because for whatever reason, the institutions that are supposed to speak truth to power have either forgotten how to do it or flat out refused. The mainstream media isn't to be a firewall. Now, too many of them are just waiting to see which way the wind blows. So thank God for the comedians, the artists, the public servants who still have the guts to call it what it is. Because the louder they speak, the more the rest of us can see just how rigged and rotten the entire system has become. And if that scares the cowards in power, good. Donald Trump doesn't want a country, he wants a kingdom. He doesn't want the truth, he wants a stage, a spotlight, and a bootlicking entourage to prop him up while he guts the Constitution and calls it patriotism. And the real tragedy, he's not doing it in secret. He's doing it in broad daylight with Project 2025 as the blueprint and cowards in Congress holding the door open. So now the question is, what are we going to do about it? Because the moment demands clarity. It demands courage. And if we don't draw the line right now, if we don't say no further, then this whole experiment goes up in smoke. This isn't about politics anymore. It's about survival. It's about whether this country stays free or falls into the hands of a man who already shows us what he's willing to do with power. So if you're in the media, speak up. If you're in public office, stand firm. And if you're just a regular person watching this all unfold, don't wait for someone else to be the hero. Be the damn hero. Because Pete Buttigieg can't do it alone. None of us can. But together, we can still pull the fire alarm and we can still stop this. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.